Yeah. So bright. I am recording this for Mother. Where's the remote, Andrew? Give it to me.
Thank you.
The other one. The one that has the audio.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Very rowdy.
Is it Bernie Sanders? Yeah, it is.
Thank you, my friends. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much for being here. And I love you all, too. Last night, I congratulated Donald Trump and offered to work with him on behalf of our country. I hope that he will be a successful president for all Americans. This is not the outcome we wanted or we worked so hard for, and I'm sorry that we did not win this election for the values we share and the vision we hold for our country. But I feel pride and gratitude for this wonderful campaign that we built together. This vast, diverse, creative, unruly, energized campaign. You represent the best of America, and being your candidate has been one of the greatest honors of my life.
The ones that aren't the deplorables.
I know how disappointed you feel because I feel it too. And so do tens of millions of Americans who invested their hopes and dreams in this effort. This is painful, and it will be for a long time. But I want you to remember this. Our campaign was never about one person or even one election. It was about the country we love and about building an America that's hopeful, inclusive, and big-hearted. We have seen that our nation is more deeply divided than we thought. But I still believe in America, and I always will. And if you do, then we must accept this result and then look to the future. Donald Trump is going to be our president. We owe him an open mind and the chance to lead. Our constitutional democracy enshrines the peaceful transfer of power. And we don't just respect that, we cherish it. It also enshrines other things: the rule of law, the principle that we are all equal in rights and dignity, freedom of worship and expression.
Look at Bill.
We respect and cherish these values too, and we must defend them.
I bet it doesn't look happy either.
And let me add, our constitutional democracy demands our participation, not just every 4 years, but all the time. So let's do all we can to keep advancing the causes and values we all hold dear, making our economy work for everyone, not just those at the top, protecting our country and protecting our planet, and breaking down all the barriers that hold any American back from achieving their dreams. We've spent a year and a half bringing together millions of people from every corner of our country to say with one voice that we believe that the American dream is big enough for everyone, for people of all races and religions, for men and women, for immigrants, for LGBT people, and people with disabilities, for everyone. our responsibility as citizens is to keep doing our part to build that better, stronger, fairer America we seek. And I know you will. I am so grateful to stand with all of you. I want to thank Tim Kaine and Ann Holton for being our partners on this journey. It has been a joy getting to know them better, and it gives me great hope and comfort to know that Tim will remain on the front lines of our democracy, representing Virginia in the Senate. To Barack and Michelle Obama, our country owes you an enormous debt of gratitude. We thank you for your graceful, determined leadership that has meant so much to so many Americans and people across the world. And to Bill and Chelsea, Mark, Charlotte, Aiden, our brothers and our entire family, my love for you means more than I can ever express. You crisscrossed this country on our behalf and lifted me up when I needed it most, even 4-month-old Aiden, who traveled with his mom. I will always be grateful to the creative, talented, dedicated men and women at our headquarters in Brooklyn and across our country. You poured your hearts into this campaign. For some of you who are veterans, it was a campaign after you had done other campaigns. Some of you, it was your first campaign. I want each of you to know that you were the best campaign anybody could have ever expected or wanted. And to the millions of volunteers, community leaders, activists, and union organizers who knocked on doors, talked to neighbors, posted on Facebook, even in secret, private Facebook sites. I want everybody coming out from behind that and make sure your voices are heard going forward. To everyone who sent in contributions as small as $5 and kept us going, thank you. Thank you from all of us. And to the young people in particular, I hope you will hear this. I have, as Tim said, spent my entire adult life fighting for what I believe in. I've had successes and I've had setbacks, sometimes really painful ones. Many of you are at the beginning of your professional, public, and political careers. You will have successes and setbacks too. This loss hurts, but please never stop believing that fighting for what's right is worth it. We need you to keep up these fights now and for the rest of your lives. And to all the women, and especially the young women, who put their faith in this campaign and in me, I want you to know that nothing has made me prouder than to be your champion. Still not shattered that highest and hardest glass ceiling, but someday someone will, and hopefully sooner than we might think right now. And to all the little girls who are watching this, never doubt that you are valuable and powerful and deserving of every chance and opportunity in the world to pursue and achieve your own dreams. Finally, I am so grateful for our country and for all it has given to me. I count my blessings every single day that I am an American. And I still believe, as deeply as I ever have, that if we stand together and work together with respect for our differences, strength in our convictions, and love for this nation, our best days are still ahead of us.
Oh!
Because
still have not shattered the glass ceiling.
We are stronger together, and we will go forward together.
Wait, did she say that? Oh, I didn't notice that. I thought they were just being thug life.
Fighting for that. You know, Scripture tells us, let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. So, my friends, let us have faith in each other. Let us not grow weary. Let us not lose heart. For there are more seasons to come, and there is more work to do. I am incredibly honored and grateful to have had this chance to represent all of you in this consequential election. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
Too bad she could have had those fireworks and let them go off like in Paul Blart Mall Cop at the wrong time.
There you have it, a dignified and emotional but focused Hillary Clinton, who has been one of the most famous people on the world stage and on the stage in this country politically for many, many years. She held it together, a little bit teary at times. Her voice cracked a little bit when she said, this is painful and this will be painful for some time. I think a very human acknowledgement of the enormous commitment of energy and time that it takes to go through this. You think about all of the different stages of this campaign and the ups and downs that she has gone through, physically, emotionally, the investigations, the Comey letters, all of the roller coaster that has been this campaign. And I think most Americans would look at this speech from Hillary Clinton and the speech that we heard last night from Donald Trump with a sigh of relief and say, good for you, good for both of you. Gracious, open-armed moments.
I can't wait to see Obama, though.
Bring the country together after what has clearly been the most divisive.
Yeah, he's supposed to be doing something soon.
That we have ever seen in this country, and I think the tone of both of these speeches was quite welcome today. I'm here still with Karl Rove and Steve Hayes. Karl, this is a woman who's been the First Lady of Arkansas, the First Lady of the United States, a senator from New York, the Secretary of State, and the first woman to be the nominee for a major political party in the United States. She has achieved a great, great deal.
Yeah. If we'd seen more of that person than we just saw in the last 15 minutes, maybe she would have done a little bit better on the campaign trail. This was a remarkable moment. I couldn't agree with you more. We had a picture-perfect victory statement, and we've now had a healing and conciliatory concession speech that was pitch-perfect. 3 notes hit me. We owe him our open mind and the opportunity to lead. That was a note of national unity that is really important after this acrimonious campaign. She also had a call to action. Our constitutional democracy requires our participation. And then finally, a note to her young and women supporters: never stop fighting for what's right because it's worth it. I thought this was terrific for our country, and God bless her for delivering it.
Steve?
It was the best speech that I've ever seen her give, and nothing else is close. And I thought Donald Trump's speech last night was the best speech he's given this campaign. And it's sort of a fitting end for people who have had so much anxiety throughout this campaign, myself included. It's a promising way to end what's been a very difficult campaign. I think you summed it up exactly right. I think this was, obviously this was a deeply personal speech. But she hit so many gracious notes. I agree with Carl entirely. It was, I think, the most human that we've seen her, not just in this campaign, but I think going back to the 2008.
Because she doesn't have to put on an act anymore.
So difficult for her. It's the most human that we've seen her in public life. And what struck me as she was finishing the speech, she did have some emotional moments. You expect her to have some emotional moments. I would have had some emotional moments giving voice to those same words, but the thing that struck me about this is it was a surprisingly strong speech. There was a strength about her as she delivered this that it was not what I expected. I expected her to be gracious. I expected her to have some warm words for Donald Trump and thanks for her supporters. I didn't expect her to finish so strong.
She finished strong in many ways over the course of the last 10 days. She looked very strong when she went through the last several days of campaigning. This speech, obviously, as you both pointed out, was a strong one. I'm sure that's very bittersweet for her to give, what you guys are calling the best speech of her campaign. I also think the speech she gave at the convention was very strong and a very important moment for her. I do think that women across the country, when they see her in this position, it is an emotional moment for them.
Can you give little things attention?
It was not meant to be for her to break that glass ceiling, as we talk about so much, and as Donald Trump has said. The things that are most compelling to voters across this nation are issues of security, issues of the economy, and these are things that matter to men and women alike. But a poignant moment, to be sure, from her.
Oh, there she is.
You know what's interesting? In both last night and today, we saw their humanity. You saw the pain that she has suffered in this loss, but you also saw that sort of sense of awesome responsibility that produces humility in Donald Trump last night. And it says something about the character of both of these people. That these
still got to do a video of all the animals.
Moments, but these were moments that were invested in a lot of who they are and what they're about.
They're still teen.
There's somebody who's looking at, if he's looking at both of these statements, he's going to say, how am I going to match that? And that is the third player in this drama. The man who has to sort of deliver the benediction to this transfer of power, and that's President Obama and his remarks to the country. The country will be well served if the president takes his lead from Donald Trump last night with his humility and
there's his podium.
What do you expect, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I hate to be. This has been a good moment this morning. It was a good moment last night.
Yep.
I hate to be cynical and skeptical about it, but that.
All right, logging out for now.
President Obama's conducted himself. If you look at the remarks that he,
regardless of which side you were on in the election. Regardless of whether your candidate won or lost, the sun would come up in the morning. And that is one bit of prognosticating that actually came true. The sun is up. And I know everybody had a long night. I did as well. I had a chance to talk to President-elect Trump last night, about 3:30 in the morning, I think it was, to congratulate him on winning the election. And I had a chance to invite him to come to the White House tomorrow to talk about making sure that there is a successful transition between our presidencies. Now, it is no secret that the president-elect and I have some pretty significant differences. But remember, 8 years ago, President Bush and I had some pretty significant differences. But President Bush's team could not have been more professional or more gracious in making sure we had a smooth transition so that we could hit the ground running. And one thing you realize quickly in this job is that the presidency and the vice presidency is bigger than any of us. So I have instructed my team to follow the example that President Bush's team set 8 years ago and work as hard as we can to make sure that this is a successful transition for the president-elect. Because we are now all rooting for his success in uniting and leading the country. The peaceful transition of power is one of the hallmarks of our democracy. And over the next few months, we are going to show that to the world. I also had a chance last night to speak with Secretary Clinton, and I just had a chance to hear her remarks. I could not be prouder of her. She has lived an extraordinary life of public service. She was a great First Lady. She was an outstanding senator for the state of New York, and she could not have been a better Secretary of State.
Oh, screw you, man.
I'm proud of her. A lot of Americans look up to her. Her candidacy and nomination was historic and sends a message to our daughters all across the country that they can achieve at the highest levels of politics. And I'm absolutely confident that she and President Clinton will continue to
Probably
do
smoking
great
pot.
work for people here in the United States and all around the world. Now, everybody is sad when their side loses an election. But the day after, we have to remember that we're actually all on one team. This is an intramural scrimmage. We're not Democrats first, we're not Republicans first. We are Americans first. We're patriots first. We all want what's best for this country. That's what I heard in Mr. Trump's remarks last night. That's what I heard when I spoke to him directly, and I was heartened by that. That's what the country needs. A sense of unity, a sense of inclusion, a respect for our institutions, our way of life, rule of law, and a respect for each other. I hope that he maintains that spirit throughout this transition, and I certainly hope that's how his presidency has a chance to begin. I also told my team today to keep their heads up, because the remarkable work that they have done day in, day out, often without a lot of fanfare, often with a lot of attention, work in agencies, work in obscure areas of policy that make government run better and make it more responsive and make it more efficient and make it more service friendly so that it's actually helping more people. That remarkable work has left the next president with a stronger, better country than the one that existed 8 years ago. So win or lose in this election, that was always our mission. That was our mission from day one. And everyone on my team should be extraordinarily proud of everything that they have done. And so should all the Americans that I've had a chance.
What the crap?
Here's the little kitchen of the market. This is where the local people have their breakfast.
Dadgum it.
Let's have a bowl. Have a seat.
Done by moms and dads and families and congregations in every state. The work of perfecting this union. So this was a long and hard-fought campaign. A lot of our fellow Americans are exultant today. A lot of Americans are less so. But that's the nature of campaigns. That's the nature of democracy. It is hard. And sometimes contentious and noisy. And it's not always inspiring. But to the young people who got into politics for the first time and may be disappointed by the results, I just want you to know you have to stay encouraged. Don't get cynical. Don't ever think you can't make a difference. As Secretary Clinton said this morning, fighting for what is right is worth it. Sometimes you lose an argument. Sometimes you lose an election. You know, the path that this country has taken has never been a straight line. We zig and zag, and sometimes we move in ways that some people think is forward and others think is moving back. And that's okay. I've lost elections before. Joe hasn't. But, you know. So I've been sort of
Sure, you beat me badly.
There's Creepy Bush.
That's the way
Creepy
politics
Clinton.
works sometimes.
Dadgummit.
We try
Creepy
really hard
Joe
to
Biden.
persuade people that we're right. And then people vote. And then if we lose, we learn from our mistakes.
Always
We do some
sniffing people's
reflection.
shoulders.
We lick our wounds. We brush ourselves off. We get back in the arena. We go at it. We try even harder the next time. The point, though, is that we all go forward with a presumption of good faith in our fellow citizens. Because that presumption of good faith is essential to a vibrant and functioning democracy. That's how this country has moved forward for 240 years. It's how we've pushed boundaries and promoted freedom around the world. That's how we've expanded the rights of our founding to reach all of our citizens. It's how we have come this far. And that's why I'm confident that this incredible journey that we're on as Americans will go on. And I'm looking forward to doing everything that I can to make sure that the next president is successful in that. I've said before, I think of this job as being a relay runner. You take the baton, you run your best race, and hopefully by the time you hand it off, you're a little further ahead. You've made a little progress. And I can say that we've done that, and I want to make sure that handoff is well executed, because ultimately, we're all on the same team. All right. Thank you very much, everybody.
Barack Obama, you will not be taking questions, but that was his first address to the American people since Donald Trump was elected president. He did say that he has invited the president-elect to the White House to discuss the peaceful transition of power. He said about Hillary Clinton, I could not be prouder. I'm going to open it up to the couch. The first words that we're hearing publicly.
I can't wait to see Greg Gutfield get on here.
70 days left.